So in practice, we're really working on our ball handling because Carroll's really good at pressuring and with their press. So we're going to be working on breaking their press and setting up an offense comfortably.
And having been off since January 2nd for quarantine, how has that maybe kind of affected the team?
It's been a long time since we've been in the gym. I know some of us have been able to work at home, so that's been helping. But we just gotta really push ourselves this week to be ready for Friday.
And Southside and Carroll are the only two undefeated teams left in the SAC. So how do you kind of approach maybe a game of this kind of magnitude?
This is one of the games we've been looking forward to, so we just really got to take it serious and be focused on getting that dub.
And what do you guys need to bring to the court to secure that W?
We need to be focused on our opponent, just knowing who they are, what they can do, and being able to stop that.
How would you describe the strengths of this team?
Of our team? I think our team's very good at giving pressure on defense, and this year, even more than last year, we're just connected as a team better with our teamwork.
And what's it kind of like playing during this era?
It's been different. I really wish we could have had it differently, especially this being my last year, but you just got to get through it.
Excited, especially coming up from quarantine. I'm just really excited to get back in and ready to start playing again.
And can you tell me, what are you guys focusing on this week as, in practice as we head into Friday's game?
Well, really mainly we're focusing on our defense and our offense, especially moving around, trying to score, trying to get the easy little buckets as it is.
And you did mention being off for quarantine since January 2nd. How has that maybe kind of impacted this team, impacted you?
It's a little, it's mentally challenging, mentally and physically, especially not being able to do a lot of things, especially with working out. So it's going to be kind of hard, pushing us to get ourselves back in shape and back in it.
And both Southside and Carroll are undefeated in SAC. What kind of magnitude does that put on this game?
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of, many people putting pressure on us to win and try to, still remain undefeated. But really, for us, it's just really focusing on playing hard and finishing out the game.
And what will you guys need to do to secure that W come Friday? What will you guys need to do to kind of secure that W on Friday?
Really, it's a mental thing. We just have to remain playing hard in practice, going hard at each other, and just keeping our heads in the game at all times.
Absolutely. And what are you most looking forward to about Friday?
Really, I'm just looking forward to playing again. That's really it, and especially playing with my team.
Okay. And what will be the biggest factor on Friday of whether you pull out that W?
Our biggest factor, I would say, really, all of us just working hard the entire game, playing every single time, every minute.
Definitely how to handle pressure. Carroll has just been dominant on the court with their defense. The full court press. Obviously that's something that we, like to do here. But they've definitely have solidified their pressure over this past season, and we have to be ready for that. So everything that we're doing is with contact. Everything that we're doing is under duress. We're putting 2-3 people on the ball, just making sure that our girls can handle, what's going to be facing them on Friday.
And then both Southside and Carroll undefeated in the SAC. How do you kind of handle that pressure, or deal with that?
Yeah, so, if we look at coming into the season, we would have played Homestead already at this point. Things could be looking a little bit different, right, if our schedule had maintained where it was. But where we are right now, we're both undefeated. We're both coming in with, the opportunity to walk away as the conference leader at that time. It's definitely not anything that we haven't been before, but I think that is a little bit more pressure on us at this point, only because Carroll has just been very dominant this season. We're coming off of another, quarantine. This is our second one of the season. Girls are just coming back. Yesterday was the first time together. So we're just, we're going to have that, that time to get back on the court, and we're facing one of the toughest opponents on our schedule.
And how has maybe been on quarantine? How has that kind of affected maybe team play and
Well, I think it's not only just how the physicalness of it, some of the girls choose to do some of the work at home, but then some of them just kind of take advantage of the time off. So that's just the physical end of it, but it's also a mental strain. We're sitting around, we're watching games of the weeks, we're watching, we're collectively, group chatting while the game is playing. We watched the Homestead Snyder game the other night. We were going through, talking to each other about, did you see that? Here's what we need to identify. So we've been able to, we worked on trying to keep the girls engaged and not just away for 14 days. So we found opportunities to do that. So I think that it really is that mental strain as well. They see everybody else playing and we got to sit at home. So just trying to keep them mentally in it, to know that they still have an opportunity to come back and compete and battle. So that's part of it as well. So I think it definitely takes a toll on us. This is our second one of the season. It's just one of those that we have to, face our tougher conference schedule with that behind us.
And from just an outsider looking in kind of thing, I feel like there's so much community building just through that, just hearing you talk about that. I don't know, I find that very kind of inspirational that you guys still talk and
Zoom's been a wonderful thing. I mean, it can be. Obviously, during this 14 days that we've been off, we've had a couple of Zoom meetings and we talked about our opponents. We did film review. So we've been able to stay connected in that way. And then we've been watching the games live and just communicating and just feeling a little bit of that spirit and joy of each other and saying, yeah, I can't wait to get back on the court and now we can handle this or we can do that. And, so I think it's helped us in that the girls became more of a student during this time. But I'm sure it just takes that toll of just that a desire to want to be out there and having to have to sit.
And speaking about getting back on the court playing, what is it that these girls need to do Friday to secure that W?
We're going to have a little bit. We're just going to have a little bit of confidence in our abilities to handle the pressure. That's just going to be the bottom line. The patience on patience walking through some of that intensity that we're going to face. It's kind of we know how to teach it and provide it and kind of have that, and so we've also go back to what you are working on, know that that's what they're looking for, know how to take that away. So definitely being able to be prepared mentally to handle that, especially on their court, in their environment, all of those pieces on top of that pressure. So just for us to be able to walk away with the win on Friday, we have to have a little bit of consistency and fluidity in our offense because they can smother you in a second. And so we have to be able to take advantage of a weakness, find the opportunity, and just maintain our composure under their press.
I guess just the last one I have is, what are you looking forward to most about Friday's game?
Well, we are still having Mai coming off her injury at this point, and so there's been some girls having to step up, and we've had before the break we were playing without Mai, so being able to see some other players kind of step up and be a little bit more involved in our game. So I'm looking for a lot of our players to just kind of find new roles. Identify, kind of the contributions that they can provide and see, what kind of effort we can give. We're facing a tough opponent. Carroll's been impressive all season long. They're the top of the conference. If you look at the record and the games played, they've played more games than we have, I think. But they've also been a lot more dominant this season. So I'm giving them the plug. They're the top of the conference right now. We're coming in and we're having to fight that off. So if we can just go in and compete and battle and have a good show, that's all I'm looking for on Friday.